We expect to be the voice of the common people, the middle class, the people who are being destroyed and pushed into poverty because of this ill-conceived austerity. You know, these half-witted measures will not solve the problem. They will add to the debt of our country. And we will be in a few years over our heads, even worse than we are now in debt. And default looks unavoidable. So these are short-term measures intended for the loan sharks and the money lenders to get back the most they can from our debt.
What is the message that you personally want to deliver to the Prime Minister?
He's not welcome here in Thessaloniki. We are fed up with the lies he has fed the people. We would expect from the government some justice. No one has been punished for stealing billions of euros from the government and from the hands of the people. And the government has strayed away from its promises and is going off in uncharted land without resorting to a referendum. So it's completely unlawful in the sense that these people were elected on one agenda, a declared agenda, and they are following something completely different.
What if your organization is advocating a return to the drachma? Wouldn't that just mean instant poverty?
Our organization is not advocating poverty. It is advocating hard work. It is advocating development, new work positions. It is advocating that we do not live on debt, but on our earnings from our work, from exporting. At this point, it is very difficult to export anything because the entire society is entangled in this hard euro currency. And we are completely uncompetitive for this and other reasons, structural reasons. But to get structural reform, you have to have justice. You have to have punishment for those who steal. And this is not happening. It's just government talk. It talks. People are shown to have taken bribes of billions and millions of euros, and nobody is punished in the end.
But you are just a handful of people. You are up against the International Monetary Fund, you're up against the vested interests of the European Union, which doesn't want the value of the euro to go down. And you're up against a government which is committed to fulfilling the obligations that it sees to the IMF and also to the EU for the money that it has borrowed as part of the International Rescue Package. What chance do you stand?
Well, the odds are pretty commonplace for Greek history. I mean, throughout our history, we have been a few select people against impossible odds, and still we have survived. If this government thinks that the Greeks are going to fade into poverty and oblivion and go away, it should think again. It is not going to happen. It takes only a few people with courage to start something that will inflame the entire country. I mean,
are you talking about revolution? Because you sound like you might be a dangerous man.
I'm talking about social change. I'm talking about justice, about punishment for those who steal. This is civilization. If we want to live in financial slavery and in people in government who are not punished for what they do, this is not the world I want to live in.
Right. But are you advocating revolution? Are you advocating armed struggle effectively against this?
There will be no need for armed struggle because 90% of the Greek people share our belief in justice and in democracy. This is a country where democracy was born, and we can go back to our history and our past for examples and methods. It's not the slaughter we are after.
But is it true that the government is contemplating banning you as an organization because they think that you are a threat to national security?
Well, we must be saying something right if this is true. If we are outlawed for saying that we need more democracy and for justice, it would be an honor. Please go ahead.
How serious is the attempt to ban you and to outlaw you?
We have informal sources, legal sources quoted that a search is underway to find an excuse, a legal excuse to achieve this. Legal grounds for outlawing our organization.
Right, thank you, Stelios. Let me just check.